Since that heart-wrenching day when our son vanished, the weight of grief has been unbearable. Our once lively home is now filled with silence and sorrow, a constant reminder of the joy that was stolen from us. The nursery, which once echoed with our son's laughter, now stands as a stark, empty space, filled only with shadows of what used to be. David and I have been struggling to cope with the loss. Each day feels like a relentless cycle of hope and despair. We go through the motions, trying to find some semblance of normalcy, but the pain never truly fades. The investigation has provided little solace. The police have followed numerous leads, but none have brought us closer to finding our boy. Our interactions have become strained, with grief pulling us in different directions. The emotional distance between us has grown, and we find ourselves lost in our own worlds of anguish. The once warm and loving environment of our home now feels cold and empty. We cling to the hope that somehow, somewhere, there is a sign or a clue that will lead us to our son. In the midst of this despair, our dog Max has been our constant source of comfort. His presence, though deeply rooted in the past, is a reminder of the love and happiness we once had. Despite his own confusion and distress, Max has been a loyal companion, offering us a silent form of solace. As we try to navigate through our grief, we rely on each other and on Max for strength. The hope that one day we might find our son keeps us going, even as the days blend into a haze of sorrow. The search for answers continues, and each day brings with it the hope that the mystery of our son's disappearance will one day be resolved. Max's behavior had become increasingly unsettling since our son disappeared. Once a calm and affectionate dog, Max was now on edge all the time. His reaction to the disappearance seemed to go beyond mere distress. He had begun to act out in ways that were both puzzling and troubling. Each day, Max's anxiety seemed to grow. He would pace around the house, his eyes darting nervously as if he was searching for something or someone. At night, his restlessness became more pronounced. He would bark at shadows, whine at the slightest noise, and refuse to settle down, even when we tried to comfort him. One night, his agitation reached a new level. David and I were trying to find a moment of peace in the living room when Max suddenly started barking furiously at the front door. His barking was frantic, his body tense and quivering. It was unlike anything we had seen before. We tried to calm him, but he continued to growl and scratch at the door, as if he was trying to get something or someone out. The noise was so intense that it disrupted our already fragile sense of normalcy. I went to check outside, but there was nothing unusual. The streets were quiet, and no one was around. Max's behavior felt like an urgent signal, but it was unclear what he was trying to communicate. Max's unsettling behavior led us to take him for a walk, hoping it might provide some relief for both him and us. We decided to visit a nearby park we hadn't been to in months. The familiar surroundings seemed to offer a brief respite from the constant anxiety that plagued us. As soon as we arrived at the park, Max's demeanor shifted. His usual calm was replaced by an intense focus. He sniffed the ground with unusual fervor, his nose working overtime as if he was tracking something specific. We followed him through the park, puzzled but hopeful that this could be a sign of something meaningful. Max led us to a quiet, secluded area of the park. There, he began digging frantically in the dirt. His paws moved quickly, sending small clumps of earth flying. David and I exchanged worried glances, unsure of what Max was trying to find, but feeling a sense of urgency. We knew we had to let him continue, hoping he might uncover something significant. After several minutes of vigorous digging, Max unearthed a small, weathered object. As I approached to see what it was, my heart skipped a beat. It was a toy, one that belonged to our son. The sight of it, dirty and worn, was both a shock and a bittersweet comfort. The toy was unmistakable. It was the exact one our son had been playing with before he went missing. The discovery of the toy was a jolt to our already frayed nerves. How could it have ended up here? What did this mean? The toy, buried in the park, felt like a fragment of our son's presence and a potential clue in our search for answers. The discovery of the toy reignited a flicker of hope in our hearts. We immediately contacted the police, who took the toy for forensic analysis and promised to investigate the park thoroughly. The fact that the toy had been found buried in the park raised new questions and possibilities. In the days that followed, Max's behavior seemed to shift. While his agitation had lessened, he remained unusually vigilant, often leading us back to the park. We began to spend more time there, driven by the hope that Max's instincts might uncover further clues. Each visit felt like a small step toward finding answers, and Max's actions gave us renewed determination. Our search in the park became a daily ritual. We meticulously combed through the area where Max had found the toy, hoping to uncover additional evidence. Every day, we watched Max's reactions closely, trying to decipher any hints he might give us. His loyalty and persistence became a source of strength for us, even as the uncertainty continued to loom over our lives. The police investigation continued, but progress was slow. We clung to the hope that the toy and Max's behavior would eventually lead to a breakthrough. The park, once a place of solace, had become a focal point of our search, a place where we believed answers might be hidden. Max's presence, along with the toy's unexpected appearance, had added a new dimension to our search. It was as if Max was guiding us, offering silent support in our quest for the truth. Despite the ongoing pain and uncertainty, we found comfort in the bond with our loyal companion and the small glimmer of hope that each new discovery might bring us closer to finding our son.